What's up, everybody? It's Andrew here with 765 Disc Review. So today we have the NXT Ether from Gateway Discs here. This was courtesy of Big Z Disc Golf there. Check them out for sure. Appreciate it, and thank you guys for sending me this disc. So this disc here is for the flight numbers. It's 12 for the speed, it is 6 for the glide, -1 turn, and 2 for fade. So currently what I've been bagging and I'm kind of moving away from is the Latitude 64 Grace. So that's going to be a lot of kind of my frame of reference when it comes to this disc here. So starting off, just talking about the feel here, the NXT plastic, it feels like the most firm star plastic from Innova that you could ever imagine. I feel like it's kind of the best way I could compare it to. Maybe something like Fusion X from Dynamic Discs, maybe even a little bit more firm as well. As far as that goes. So a little bit slick here. The profile, I would say, is relatively flat. It wasn't really super domey, which is a big forehand player is something that's always great to see and great for feeling as far as throwing the disc goes. But nonetheless, that's more or less the feel. The 12-speed rim feels pretty standard as far as distance drivers go. It's not anything crazy. It's definitely a wide rim. If you're used to throwing 7 and 9-speed discs, but for this one here, definitely kind of your standard 12-speed feeling rim. So nonetheless, in my experience with it here, as far as the good goes, I thought this disc was a bit more stable than the numbers suggested. Kind of what I found, at least if I'm comparing it to the Grace, is that it is a good amount more stable than the Grace, but what I kind of liked about it is I feel like for the Grace, I probably have to throw that at like 80-85% power. Whereas with this disc here, I felt like I was getting that Grace flight where I could still throw at 90-95% kind of power and still get that same flight without, fearing that it's going to burn over or fear if there's a little wind that it's going to kind of throw off the line. So it held the line really well. I'm not sure that this specific plastic had quite as much glide as the numbers would state. I think maybe a 4 or a 5 would probably be a little bit more appropriate than a 6 there, just for what I had. And then overall, I might say it's got a touch more fade than I would kind of guess from the flight numbers. So like I said, comparing it totally to the Grace here, but it was pretty stable. It was really trustworthy in the wind. I thought, I threw it, you'll see on one of the videos, I threw it into a pretty decent headwind, and it did have some good turn to it, but it definitely came back and faded there as well. So overall, I did like it for that aspect there, that it seemed like a more trustworthy Grace. So maybe if you're looking for something that's a step up in stability from the Grace, I think this could definitely be a great place to look here with the NXT Ether. Another thing to think about that I really noticed here, the NXT plastic is crazy durable. I know I was throwing it out on the course there, and one of our courses has a kind of golf cart path there because it's on an old golf course, and it took a full power mash and fade right into one of the cart paths, and I was like, oh, I'm wondering what it looks like as I was walking up to it, and I couldn't tell anything other than maybe a couple of scuffs from where it hit, where normally Star, maybe even Champion type plastic, it was going to take a chunk out for sure. So I was really impressed with the durability of the plastic overall. As far as the bad goes, like I said, for me, not a ton bad. If anything, maybe just a surprising amount of stability for the disc and a little bit less glide than I might have expected, but not necessarily a bad thing. It might just fit in a slightly different spot than what I had imagined. So overall, definitely a great disc worth checking out here. I imagine, if you're kind of thinking, a Destroyer or a DD3, etc., is kind of a little too stable for you, this might be a good thing to check out here. Like I said, the NXT plastic, I can't say enough great things about. As far as durability goes, I was crazy impressed. It might be the most durable plastic I've thrown so far. So nonetheless, definitely worth checking out there. If you get a chance, check them out over at Big Z Disc Golf there. Appreciate you guys watching. Hope you enjoyed the throw.